Hi there, Scorpios. Thanks so much for tuning in. I'm Astrogirl, and we're looking at March 30th through April 5. And this is a very exciting week. There's a lot happening. Mars, the planet of energy and passion, is moving into Taurus, your opposite sign, your one-on-one relationship zone. So for the next 6 weeks, you're going to feel very passionate. And of course, Mars is your co-ruler. So you're very influenced by where Mars is in the zodiac. And for those of you who are single, it's a great time for you to meet somebody. And while it may be lust at first sight, lust easily turns into something more permanent. I mean, it doesn't just have to be lust. It can be lust at first sight, and then after a couple of weeks, months, you'll realize that, hey, I like this person. Despite the fact that we're, setting the world on fire, shall we say. So that's happening. Later in the week, on Saturday, there is a total lunar eclipse / full moon in Libra, which of course is your 12th house of past karma and subconscious. Something or someone that you needed to deal with and that you haven't dealt with is going to have to be dealt with. And it might not be this weekend, but it's probably going to be in the next 2 to 3 weeks. Scorpios, if something is very emotionally clinging or annoying or emotionally draining, a lot of you shy away from dealing with it, only because you just find that you, being a water sign and being a fixed sign, meaning that you're stubborn, you sometimes feel like, I'll deal with it later, and then months and weeks and years go by and you haven't dealt with it. So whatever problem it is, it gets multiplied by the fact that time is passing. So say, for example, you and a friend fall out over something stupid, maybe a Facebook comment or a text or an email or something stupid. Rather than nipping it in the bud like you should, and sometimes being the first one to say, hey, I'm sorry, I messed up, didn't mean it, it was meant to be a joke, wasn't funny, you might decide to just let them come around your way. And what happens if they don't? You could lose someone, who's a part of your life, lose a whole group of friends because they're like, you need to apologize. And you stubbornly say, they need to apologize. If no one apologizes, people take sides, things fester. It's really important that sometimes we all have to be the ones to say, I was wrong. Sometimes we're not even in the wrong. Sometimes it's just a way of hopefully squashing things or making things that little easier, that we can all go back to having brunch on Sunday, or go back to our parties, and all go back to the friendships that you've come to rely on and love as much as you have. Friendships are really important. And I think that for those of you who are far-flung and removed and not talking to family members, friendships are what get us by. I always say that's the reason Sex and the City and Girls and Friends and all those shows were as popular as they were, because they weren't about family and family values and people having babies and, fabulous stories of never-ending love. They were about groups of people who came together and had each other's backs. And it's really important, Scorpios, that with Mars in Taurus over the next 6 weeks, that you really respect and keep and make new friends, and it's going to be easier than ever. Have a great week, Scorpios. Great speaking to you, and I will speak to you again next week.